She promised we'd build our best life together. We had plans, dreams, and a vision of what our future would look like. But then, just a few months later, she cheated on a business trip. So I left. I walked away. And instead of the life she promised me, I started living the life we dreamed of without her. And from what I hear, she's still watching, carrying that regret. I remember it clearly. The moment Leah looked me in the eye and said, "No matter what life throws at us, we're going to live our best lives together." It felt like a sacred promise, more than just a vow. It felt like something that bound us, something we were going to keep no matter what. I was 31. She was 29, and we'd been together for 6 years, married for 4. We didn't want children, not because we couldn't, but because we chose not to. Our life plan was simple yet fulfilling. Adventures, travel, passion projects, and someday a little house by a lake where we'd wake up to birdsong in silence. There was never a disagreement between us about the future. Not one. We were aligned in every way, like 2 pages from the same book. But life has a way of turning the people you love into strangers. In February, Leah started a new job, a big step up in her career that she had worked hard for. It required some training trips, the first of which lasted 2 weeks. When she came back, she was different, more animated, more excited. And then she started talking about a new colleague, Mason. He was smart, a good listener, someone who actually understood the Bible in a way that resonated with her. I've never been religious, and Leah had always respected that. But now, she was quoting scripture like it was something deeper, something she shared only with him. At first, I wasn't suspicious. Leah had always worked with men, mostly engineers, and I trusted her. She was my best friend, my partner. But then things started to shift. They began texting constantly, late at night, outside of work hours. I asked her about it once. She brushed it off. "Mason? He's just a friend. You don't have to worry about him." But by March, the tension was undeniable. I asked again, and she reassured me. "If it bothers you, I'll stop talking to him. I don't want anything to come between us." Deep down, I knew she wouldn't stop, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. By the end of the month, another training trip was scheduled. This time, Mason would be there. I began asking if she was really happy in our marriage, if anything felt off. She always told me I was the best thing that ever happened to her, and I clung to that. Then came April. That's when everything started to unravel. Her second trip lasted almost 5 weeks. The first few days were normal, texts, FaceTime calls. But soon, she started pulling away. Our conversations became colder, more distant. We argued, not constantly, but enough for it to feel like something was breaking. I was going through a tough time mentally, and I wasn't the easiest person to be around. But I also felt like I was losing her, and I couldn't understand why. Eventually, she asked for space. She told me she still loved me, but not in the same way. Those words hit me like a hammer. Not in the same way? I couldn't make sense of it. I gave her space, hoping it was just temporary, just a phase. But then, in the middle of a FaceTime call, she said it calmly. "I think we should get a divorce." I froze. My heart sank. She came back home in mid-May. I drove to the airport to pick her up, standing there holding flowers like an idiot. When I saw her, my stomach dropped. Her eyes, once so familiar, looked through me like I was a stranger. She barely said hello. No hug, no warmth. At home, she didn't even unpack that night. Instead, she sat me down and repeated her words. "I want out. I don't love you anymore." I was crushed, but I held on to hope. I told myself maybe it was the stress, the distance, the fighting. I wanted to fight for us. But the next day, she was distant, almost robotic. She said she wanted to clean the house, make some nice memories before leaving. Who says that? My instinct screamed something was off, so I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her phone. We'd been together for 7 years, and I had never done anything like that before, but I needed to know. What I found shattered me. She hadn't just started seeing Mason. They were already living together, or about to. They had signed a lease in April, barely a month after she left for her trip. She had told him she was ready to leave everything behind, me, our home, our plans. She was planning a new life with him. She'd never stopped the relationship after our arguments. She just stopped being honest. I took screenshot of everything, their chats, their confessions, and said nothing. I wanted to see how far she'd go with her lies. In our final days together, I asked her gently, desperately for the truth. She denied everything. She called me paranoid, controlling. I couldn't believe it. I had spent our entire relationship asking her how I could make her life better, and this was how she repaid me. On her last night in our home, we fought. She blamed me for everything, saying my emotional ups and downs drove her away. But I knew the truth. She left that night, suitcase in hand, and didn't look back. After she left, I sent her the screenshots. No words, just proof. She replied, "We only started dating after I asked for the divorce. It wasn't cheating." Then she said something that still haunts me. "I've been wanting to leave for a long time. I just didn't know how." 7 years of love. And she had been waiting for the right moment to walk away. I don't understand how someone can change so completely, so quickly. One day, she was my wife, my partner and everything, and the next, she was a ghost wearing her face. But here's the thing. She made a promise to me that we'd live our best lives together. And even though she broke it, I'm still holding on to my part of the deal. I left. I rebuilt my life. I traveled, reconnected with old friends, and smiled again. Real, deep belly laughs I hadn't felt in years. I'm living the life we imagined, not because of her, but in spite of her. And from what I hear, she's not doing so well. Regret is a heavy anchor to carry around. She gave up the life we built for a fantasy, and I kept the foundation to build something better for myself. If you're reading this and you're where I was, broke and confused, unsure how someone you love to betray you like this, I promise you, there's life after heartbreak. Sometimes, the person you thought would be your forever is just the lesson you needed to meet your true beginning. The divorce went through faster than I expected. 3 months after Leah walked out of our home, the same home we designed together, the same home we argued over curtain colors and danced barefoot in the kitchen after late-night takeout, it was officially over. I signed the papers on a Tuesday morning. No ceremony, no big final moment, just my name on a line, and that was it. 7 years of love, commitment, and shared dreams dissolved in a few pages of legal ink. It hurt, not because I still loved her, by then that started to fade, but because I had to grieve the future we'd built in our heads. The lake house, the road trips, the quiet mornings drinking coffee while the dogs snored at our feet. But grief can be strange. Some days it whispers. Other days it crashes like a storm. I let it all hit me. I didn't numb it. I faced it head on, and slowly I started to heal. I started going to the gym, not to impress anyone, but just to feel like myself again. I traveled alone for the first time in years. I hiked in the Rockies, stood at the edge of cliffs, and realized how small I was and how big the world still was without her. I found peace. I found joy. And eventually, I found clarity. That's when Leah came back. She started by sending me a message. "Hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I hope you're doing okay." I stared at it for a while, didn't respond. Then came another message. I ignored that one too, but she didn't stop. One afternoon, she showed up at my door. I opened it, and there she was, standing there like a ghost from a different lifetime. "Can we talk?" she asked. I let her in, not because I missed her, but because I needed to hear what she had to say. And deep down, I think I wanted her to hear what I had to say too. She told me things hadn't worked out with Mason, that he wasn't who she thought he was, that the fantasy of freedom she'd chased turned into loneliness. She said she missed me, missed us, missed the peace we had. She started to cry, apologized, said she wasn't thinking straight when she left.